Don't overlook your quarters. From silver Washington quarters to rare modern errors, some are worth thousands of dollars. In this video, I'll reveal the exact dates and mistakes you need to check for in your change. The year 1990 might not feel like ancient history, yet in the world of numismatics it stands as an important point in the journey of U.S. coinage. Among the millions of coins that rolled out of the mint that year was the Washington quarter, a coin that most Americans handled countless times in daily transactions. Quarters from 1990 were used to pay for vending machines, laundry, gas station stops, and arcade games, and nearly everyone who touched them thought nothing more of it. Yet hidden in plain sight, among these common coins, are rare error quarters that have shocked collectors with their scarcity and value. While the face value of a Washington quarter is only 25 cents, certain 1990 error quarters have been auctioned for staggering amounts, reaching anywhere between $48,000 and $125,000 depending on the type of error and the coin's condition. That kind of value is enough to turn a pocket change discovery into a life-changing moment. To understand how something so ordinary can become so extraordinary, you need to step back and consider how the Washington quarter came to be and how the minting process leaves room for these prized mistakes. First introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the quarter was designed by John Flanagan and has remained an American classic. The obverse features the profile of Washington himself, surrounded by inscriptions of liberty, "In God We Trust," and the date. The reverse design in 1990 was still the heraldic eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing both strength and peace. By 1990, the mint had decades of experience producing quarters, and modern machinery struck millions with astonishing speed. But the very nature of striking so many coins means that accidents happen. When a blank planchet enters the press, it must be perfectly centered and struck by dies that are themselves correctly aligned and properly engraved. Any flaw in that process can result in an error coin, and while most minor imperfections are caught and destroyed, some slip through into circulation. It is these rare survivors that fuel the fascination of collectors. One of the most spectacular errors seen on 1990 Washington quarters involves off-center strikes. If the blank was not seated properly in the collar before striking, the design could be imprinted off-center, leaving part of the quarter blank. Slight off-center errors might be worth only a modest premium, but when the strike is significantly shifted and the date remains visible, the value soars. Collectors prize dramatic off-center strikes, and pristine examples from 1990 have been known to achieve values within that incredible $48,000 to $125,000 range. Another famous type of error collectors seek from 1990 is the double die variety. This occurs when the die itself was manufactured incorrectly, causing parts of the design to appear doubled when struck on the coin. On a Washington quarter, doubling might appear in the word liberty, in the motto "In God We Trust," or in the numerals of the date. These double details may be subtle, requiring magnification to notice, or dramatic enough to be spotted by the naked eye. The stronger the doubling, the higher the coin's desirability, and when such an error appears on a 1990 quarter in mint state condition, auction prices can be breathtaking. Clipped planchet errors are another striking variety. During the blanking process, when round discs are punched from a sheet of metal, sometimes the punches overlap improperly, creating planchets with crescent-shaped clips. When struck, the resulting coin carries this missing section, a dramatic reminder of the minting mishap. Quarters from 1990 with such clips are immediately recognizable and have become favorites among error collectors. Depending on size and appearance, these too can reach astonishing values. There are also broad strike and multiple strike errors to consider. A broad strike happens when a coin is struck without the restraining collar, causing it to spread out larger than normal and distort the design. Multiple strikes occur when a coin is struck more than once, either with misalignment or rotation between strikes. Both types create highly unusual coins that stand out instantly when compared to a normal 1990 quarter. These errors not only grab attention but also command significant premiums. What makes these error coins even more captivating is how easily they can go unnoticed by the untrained eye. Countless people handled 1990 Washington quarters over the years, slipping them into soda machines or giving them to cashiers, not realizing that a small error in the coin could mean tens of thousands of dollars in potential value. For collectors, the thrill lies in spotting that tiny detail that separates a fortune from just 25 cents. stories from the auction world highlight just how dramatic this can be. There have been cases where ordinary people discovered unusual 1990 quarters tucked away in old jars, only to find out later that they were worth more than some people's annual salaries. The collector market thrives on these discoveries, and demand remains strong because error coins are inherently limited. Unlike normal issues, which exist in the millions, error coins often number in the handfuls, making each example a true rarity. It's also important to understand that the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. A 1990 quarter error that is heavily worn from circulation might still be collectible, but pristine examples in mint state condition or even graded by professional services can fetch the most dramatic prices. That's where we see the top auction records climbing well into that $48,000 to $125,000 range. Even among experienced collectors, the 1990 Washington quarter error coins hold a special appeal because they combine modern familiarity with unexpected rarity. Unlike coins from the 1800s, which one might expect to be scarce, a 1990 quarter feels so recent and ordinary that finding one with an extraordinary flaw is almost magical. It proves that treasures can still be hiding in the coins we use every day, so the next time you find yourself holding a 1990 quarter, take a moment to look closer. Examine the date, the inscriptions, the edges, and the strike itself. Because what might appear at first to be nothing more than change for a parking meter could actually be a rare error coin that collectors are willing to pay a fortune for. With prices ranging from $48,000 to $125,000 for the right error and condition, that little piece of history could be far more valuable than you ever expected. The year 1993 may not immediately strike people as an era for groundbreaking discoveries in coin collecting, yet within the quiet circulation of that time, a small yet extraordinary treasure slipped unnoticed into the pockets and purses of countless Americans. This treasure was not gold or silver but something seemingly ordinary: the Washington quarter dollar. For many, a quarter is just a simple 25-cent coin, useful for parking meters, vending machines, or small purchases. But for dedicated collectors and those with a sharp eye, the 1993 Washington quarter error coin has become a remarkable rarity, commanding a value that defies its face worth. What makes this story even more thrilling is how a single mistake at the United States Mint transformed an everyday coin into a collector's dream, with values ranging from $40,000 to $115,000 depending on condition, rarity, and demand. To appreciate the gravity of the 1993 Washington quarter error, one must start by understanding the legacy of the Washington quarter itself. First introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday, the coin quickly became one of the most beloved designs in American numismatics. Its iconic obverse, featuring Washington's left-facing portrait designed by John Flanagan, and the reverse, showing the majestic heraldic eagle, became an enduring symbol of American pride. By 1993, the coin had already seen decades of circulation, with millions produced annually. Yet, in that vast sea of quarters, only a few struck with mistakes managed to slip through unnoticed, escaping quality control at the mint and eventually making their way into circulation. These are the coins that now hold a place of honor among collectors. Errors can occur in many different ways during the minting process, and each type of error carries its own degree of rarity and intrigue. In the case of the 1993 Washington quarter, examples have been found with off-center strikes, double die obverse, missing clad layers, and dramatic misalignments. One of the most eye-catching varieties involves a missing clad layer, where the coin, normally composed of a copper core sandwiched between two nickel layers, loses part of its surface. This error exposes the copper core, giving the coin a distinct reddish or brownish tint on one side while the other side remains normal. Such coins are visually striking, immediately standing out to anyone who pays close attention to their pocket change. Another type of error from the 1993 issue is the off-center strike. In this scenario, the coin is not properly seated within the press during the striking process, causing the design to shift off the intended area. Depending on the degree of misalignment, collectors can see part of the design missing entirely, with large blank areas of metal visible. Quarters with dramatic off-center strikes, especially those where key design features like Washington's portrait or the eagle are only partially visible, are highly prized and can fetch incredible sums at auction. A perfectly preserved off-center error from 1993 has been known to draw intense bidding wars, with values soaring well into the range of $40,000 to $115,000. Then there are double die varieties, perhaps the most famous type of error in U.S. coinage history. A double die occurs when the hub, which impresses the coin's design into the die, imprints slightly misaligned images. This results in the final struck coin showing doubled features, letters, numbers, or even facial details. A 1993 quarter with doubled die features on the obverse, such as a doubled "In God We Trust" or doubled details in Washington's eye and hair, is considered an extraordinary find. Collectors seek these not only for their rarity but also for the fascinating way they display the artistry of the minting process gone awry. While error coins from 1993 are diverse, what unites them is the incredible demand they create in the numismatic community. Collectors are always searching for coins that combine historical context, rarity, and visual appeal. The 1993 Washington quarter error coins check all these boxes. Each piece tells a story of how a momentary lapse at the mint turned a mundane 25-cent coin into a prized artifact worth tens of thousands of dollars. Auction houses and private sales have confirmed this enthusiasm. Reports of error quarters from 1993 selling for $40,000 to $115,000 showcase how seriously the collecting world values these pieces. Part of what drives these high prices is not only rarity but also condition. Error coins in mint state condition, those that have not been worn down by circulation, can command premium prices. Collectors often use grading services like PCGS or NGC to authenticate and grade their coins, ensuring that the error is genuine and the condition is preserved. A 1993 quarter error graded MS65 or higher can easily approach the top end of the valuation spectrum, sometimes exceeding expectations when multiple bidders compete. Beyond the monetary aspect, the allure of the 1993 Washington quarter error lies in the thrill of discovery. Stories abound of people finding these coins in everyday transactions, tucked away in rolls of quarters, or hidden in jars of spare change at home. The excitement of realizing that a small, overlooked coin could be worth $40,000 to $115,000 has inspired countless people to re-examine their own change, hoping lightning might strike twice. This possibility fuels not only collectors but also casual enthusiasts who see coin hunting as a fascinating blend of history, treasure hunting, and luck. The broader lesson that the 1993 error quarters teach us is that value often hides in the most unexpected places. Something as small and ordinary as a quarter can carry immense worth if it bears the right anomalies. These coins remind us to pay closer attention, to appreciate the craftsmanship and occasional imperfections of the minting process, and to recognize that even in mass production, uniqueness can emerge. For those interested in pursuing error coins, the 1993 Washington quarter serves as both inspiration and caution. While the potential rewards are staggering, not every odd-looking coin is valuable. Misstrikes, wear, and damage from circulation can sometimes mimic mint errors, but only genuine mint-made mistakes hold the true collector's value. That's why authentication and grading are so important. Still, the very existence of these high-value error quarters encourages people to keep searching, to look closely at their coins, and to dream about finding a piece of history in their own pocket change. The story of the 1993 Washington quarter error is, at its core, a story about transformation. A coin created to serve a simple transactional purpose has been elevated to the realm of artifacts, desired by collectors and admired for its rarity. Its journey from minting mistake to a six-figure prize encapsulates the magic of numismatics. The way history, craftsmanship, and chance combine to produce treasures that captivate generations. And as long as these coins remain in collections and auction houses, their stories will continue to inspire awe and excitement among those who chase the rare and extraordinary. So, the next time you come across a quarter, take a moment to look closely. That simple 25-cent coin could hold more secrets than you realize. For in the world of coin collecting, the most valuable treasures are not always made of gold or silver, but of copper and nickel shaped by history and a touch of human error. Somewhere out there, a 1993 Washington quarter error might still be waiting to be discovered. A small disc of metal worth between $40,000 and $115,000, carrying within it both a mistake and a fortune.